Hello.
Then, now,
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number, I think it's 39 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We are here for Raw for September 16th, 2024, and it is the first show following the Bash in Berlin premium live event. We saw the crowning of the new WWE champion, that being Gunther, who was victorious in the final of the WWE Championship Tournament of Champions against AJ Styles in the show's opening match. The show closed with our Tag Team Championship main event, which saw Imperium come up short against Path of the Dragon. Also, Cody Rhodes sort of got fucking killed by Bronson Steiner, amongst other things. So without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show as we head towards what on the Raw side will be the build towards the Auckland Assault pay-per-view on October 26th, but before then, on September 30th, that episode of Raw will be the Unforgiven TV special. So yeah, that's what we're building to. There will be a WWE Championship match, a Women's Championship match, and a Tag Team Championship match on that show, plus a whole lot more. So yeah, without more further ado, this time for real, let's jump straight into the show. The show kicks off with the new WWE Champion. It doesn't, actually, no, it cuts to the ring. Ludwig, Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci stood in the ring. And Ludwig's there, he's giving his introduction. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and show your gratitude to your new WWE Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther." Out comes Gunther. Your suit. He's got the belt on. Gets into the ring, holds the belt up high. Pyro goes off. He takes the microphone. He goes, "2 nights ago, at the Bash in Berlin, it was gonna be a big night for Imperium, as Imperium returned to the land that made them famous, the land that put Imperium on the map, Berlin, Germany. And on that night, the Ring General, me, Gunther, restored the honor of this great sport when I became the new WWE Heavyweight Champion. Now AJ Styles was an incredible adversary. As one of the greatest professional wrestlers of this generation, stepping into the ring of AJ Styles was a test of me. Even for someone like me, it's a test. But I stand here victorious, your new WWE Heavyweight Champion. So I hear that in 2 weeks' time, at the Raw Special Unforgiven, I will be defending my WWE Heavyweight Championship for the first time. Against who? I don't know. But Saturday night, like I said, was supposed to be a big night for all of Imperium. But unfortunately, it was not. Because you see, in our main event, Ludwig and Gio were set to become the new World Tag Team Champions when they defeated Akira Tozawa and Humberto Carrillo. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because Giovanni and Vinci steps forward. Because Vinci was a loser in Berlin. Vinci cost Imperium the right to all be standing here as champions right now. So Vinci, what are you going to do to make it right? And Vinci goes, "I understand, I apologize, my Ring General. I let Imperium down. And next time me and Ludwig get a shot of those tag team championships, I'll make sure to get the job done." That's when AJ Styles does interrupt. He comes out. He goes, "I don't want to interrupt your little celebration party here, Gunther, but first of all, I want to say congratulations on your victory at Bash in Berlin. In Berlin, Germany, a country that means so much to your career, you were the better man, and you became WWE Champion. It's a goal that I've been striving to get these last 6 months since I kicked Finn Balor to the curb. And I should be standing here, the WWE Champion, one last time, but I'm not. And that's because I was faced up against one of the very best professional wrestlers in the world today. You. However, we are 2 weeks away from the next special Monday Night Raw episode, that being Unforgiven. And on that night, you, Gunther, will be defending your championship, and that's where I come in, because I, the phenomenal AJ Styles, want another shot. Montez Ford then interrupts him. He goes, AJ Styles, come on, just wind it in a second. Okay, you're coming out here, you're bitching. You're not really bitching, you're just moaning, and I just hate the sound of your voice. How you want another opportunity to become WWE Champion. Well, guess what, Alan? You lost in Berlin. There's a hell of an opportunity for you to get that opportunity against Gunther in Berlin. Some of us weren't so lucky, but you blew it. You want to think that you're the next WWE Champion, that you kicked Finn Balor to the curb. You did. And AJ, on many, many timelines, you could be the next WWE Champion, but that timeline is not this one, because I should have been in that match at Bash in Berlin, because in that WWE Championship Tournament of Champions, Gunther knows I had his number. And Gunther just laughed. He goes, Montez, if you had my number, why am I standing here, the WWE Heavyweight Champion right now, and not you, huh? Tez goes, because I just needed 3 more seconds to get the job done. And if you want a number 1 contender for Unforgiven, I'd love that shot if you weren't such a coward. And he goes, whoa, hold on. You don't get to come out here and demand opportunities, huh? Like Gunther said, you lost. And then Ted's like, brother, so did you. He goes, enough of this. You two both want a shot at the WWE Heavyweight Championship, and I understand that, because just being on my shoulder makes this the most prestigious championship in this entire industry. But around here, championship opportunities are earned. So tonight, Montez Ford, AJ Styles, you want to be my number 1 contender for the WWE Heavyweight Championship, earn it by becoming victorious in our triple threat main event. Ted's like, hold on, triple threat? What do you mean triple threat? Because you see, Giovanni here. Giovanni disappointed Imperium at the Bash in Berlin. And so tonight, I'm going to give Giovanni an opportunity to make it up for Imperium. Giovanni will be a part of our triple threat main event tonight, and if he wins, I guess he earns a shot at the WWE Heavyweight Championship, but more importantly, he'll deny you two losers the opportunity of stepping into the ring with our ring general. And Vince's like, okay, bet, sure, I'll beat him. So that's our main event tonight, to determine the number 1 contender for the WWE Championship at Raw's Unforgiven TV special in 2 weeks' time. AJ Styles, Montez Ford, and Giovanni Vinci in a triple threat match. Sure. Should be pretty good. Vinci's scoring really high ratings. I sort of want to test him a little bit in singles opportunities, so yeah, this will be a nice chance for him to show out. We then cut backstage. We get a video recap of what happened to Cody at Bash in Berlin before we see Bronson Steiner arriving to the building, with a big shit-eating grin on his face. And he's immediately met at the entrance of the building by Bobby Roode, the Raw general manager. He goes, you've got quite the nerve for showing up to my show here tonight. Bronson goes, I'm just coming to work, Bobby, I'm just coming to work. Because, yeah, there are some people right now that aren't able to come to work, and that's because of what you did on Saturday night. Bronson goes, yeah, I know, funny, right? Bobby Roode goes, no, not funny, Bronson. But anyway, I hear there's a number 1 contenders match tonight in the main event with the winner facing Gunther or Unforgiven. Who am I facing? Who am I facing off against to get my WWE Championship opportunity? Bobby Roode goes, you must have rolled out of Idiot Town if you think that you're going to walk straight into this building tonight after what you did on Saturday. And you're going to be gifted a WWE Championship opportunity. But so he goes, well, the only reason I wasn't gifted a WWE Championship opportunity last time is because, well, I was not a former WWE Champion. You made this stupid tournament to exclude me. But because I'll tell you what, if you can go tonight without putting your hands on anybody, maybe I'll consider in the future giving you an opportunity for the WWE Championship, because you may intimidate everybody around here, but you damn sure doesn't intimidate me because I'm your boss and I can get you out of here as soon as I got you in. Okay, we've proven over the last few months that we've got no issues suspending or firing people that don't want to be here and that cause a commotion here. Do you want to be the latest? Boston goes, I'd love to see you try. Then he walks off. They then come back to the ring. Oro Mensah's still in there because, you know, he was out with Montez Ford in the opening match, and now he's got an opening segment against Wes Lee. And Wes Lee does defeat Oro Mensah in 10 minutes and 28 by pinfall. 90 for Wes Lee, 87 for Oro Mensah. And yeah, you know, banger match, to be honest. Oro Mensah even scoring an 87 is wild. But yeah, Wes Lee gets a 90, and he's fresh off, you know, 2 nights ago, delivering that low blow to LA Knight after their match at Bash in Berlin in that triple threat. Which after the match, he does take the microphone. He goes, I know a lot of you people out here want to hear me talk about what happened at Bash in Berlin. Quite frankly, not only do I not need to explain it, but I shouldn't have to. Listen, when I was a young kid and I wanted to get into WWE and I watched this stuff week in and week out, I was there front row watching every single Raw, SmackDown, you name it, that came to my city. And I had my favorite wrestlers. You know, guys you may know. And I stuck by my favorite wrestlers through thick and thin. Even when they turned their backs on me and they turned on me, I didn't turn on them because I knew deep down that these were my heroes. I say all of this because, quite frankly, I understand where the kids of today are coming from watching us here on Monday Night Raw. You know, looking up to some of the top guys on this show, guys like Cody Rhodes. You know, maybe if you're a girl, or someone like a Becky Lynch or a Bianca Belair. And for some reason, a guy like LA Knight. Yeah. So it doesn't confuse me by kids and all you fans who've picked LA Knight and latched onto LA Knight as your guy. Can't see what an obnoxious egomaniacal asshat he truly is. Like, I get it. He's the guy who comes out here, he gets you to sing and chant along, you go, yeah, go LA Knight's game. But beneath all that, he's really an insecure little man. At Bash in Berlin, I lost to Jay White. You know, Jay White put me down with that Blade Runner. And I was done. But then after the match, LA Knight, he gets in my face. He has to go at me for blowing his opportunity. Brother, you blew it for yourself. It was you at SummerSlam who couldn't get the job done. That was my accident. My bad. I apologize for that. But you've had this vendetta against me ever since. And again, I kind of get it because I did cost you that championship. But you're running around here blaming everybody but yourself. Because let's face it, LA. I'm the future. You're the past. It took you 20 years to get your big break here in WWE. It took me, 3, 4? But that's enough about LA Knight. I don't need to talk about him anymore. As far as I'm concerned, me and him are finished. What's really on my mind is this one-on-one singles opportunity I'm yet to get against the Intercontinental Champion, Jay White. I've been begging and pleading for this opportunity even before LA Knight could have won the championship back at SummerSlam, and yet people seem to be ducking Wes Lee. Why is that? It's because they know that in that ring, I'm better than each and every single one of them. So, Switchblade, if you're going to bring your ass here next week, maybe I'll see you there. And LA Knight, if you're going to bring your ass here next week too, hopefully I won't see you there, but it would be very much like you to be annoying and rear your little head anyway. But then cut backstage. It's Becky, it's Killer Kelly in the locker room. It's Kelly at Berlin. Our greatest performance, yes, but we're not to the international scale, okay? Sure, that's big, you know. It's bad. It's big enough that we broke America. Becky Stardust broke America, okay, from Ireland. Now we're breaking Europe, okay? How many... Goddamn. Even Oasis didn't break America as big as Becky Lynch did. Kelly goes, okay, yeah, calm down. You know, it was a tag team championship match. Speaking of, Kelly, I fear you and I may have got off on the wrong foot. Kelly goes, really? Okay. You know that you felt a connection here. You know you felt something between us in Berlin. And Kelly's like, where is this going? She goes, what I'm saying, Kelly, is... She sort of like puts her hands on her shoulder. He's like, I want you. I need you, in fact. Kelly's like, for what? To be in the group, you know? You know that you rocked that clothing. You rocked that face paint. You dazzled the world. You know, you're like the killer Kelly. It's like, do you even have a surname I can use? She's like, Costa. Killer Kelly Costa. Okay, like, I'm Becky Stardust. And then the door opens and it's Lyra. She's like, hey. She goes, Bird Girl. You're never going to believe it. And she sort of like looks at Kelly, laughs and goes, I guess I'm not. I must have missed a lot while I was away. She goes, well, you'll never guess what happened last week. You were back here and you got laid out. She goes, yeah, I know. She goes, anyway, me and Kelly, we hit it off. And I really think Kelly now wants to be a part of our group. So I gave her her own fancy special nickname. She's now Killer Kelly. And I was like, she already was. She goes, ugh, Bird Girl, you don't get it. But tonight, some little child got lost backstage in Berlin. I don't know. She didn't seem German, so I don't know how she got there. But she came up to us and threatened me. Can you believe that? So, I'm going to sort this child out tonight. And you can both be out there by my side. Because now, we're a family. You're both my little misfits. And soon, we're not going to take over just America or Berlin, but the world. And then get a quick segment backstage in Bobby Roode's office. Alexa Bliss is in there, and Bobby Roode's like, you know, giving her the rundown, because like there's going to be a Moment of Bliss segment with the WWE Women's Champion Nova Nebula in regards to the future of the WWE Women's Championship. And, you know, he's just given Alexa, you know, the rundown of what to ask and, like, what's going on tonight. Which will be a bit weird considering, you know, the history between Alexa and Nova. But hey, couldn't think of a better person to do it myself. In-ring match. As opposed to a backstage match. Yes. Match is what I meant to say. A tag team bout. The Blonde Barbie, Marie Paul, and Mariah May against Bayley and Stephanie Vaquer. You know, we announced this last week regardless of who was the champion, and obviously it is still Nova. But some miscommunication between Bayley and Stephanie leads to Bayley getting pinned by Mariah May in 11:33. That's a huge win for them, and a shocking upset defeat for the former WWE Women's Champion and Stephanie Vaquer. 81 for Bayley, 75 for Stephanie, 73 for Anne-Marie, and 50 for Mariah May. And then after the match, you know, Bayley's just sat in the ring, you know, defeated. Stephanie's on the outside, you know, throwing her hands up in the air, shaking her head like, what the fuck? Bayley lost to Mariah May. And Bayley's like, bitch, it was we got some kinks to iron out here. This is going to be a thing. Then cut backstage. And Raven is now in the Grand Jury locker room, of course. And he goes, oh, boys, I can sense it, I can feel it. This is the future of Monday Night Raw. For finally the next company to be overtaken by my flock, my following. And you, Priest, For far too long, you've been overlooked here in this company. You have world championship potential, and I'm going to be the one who guides you there. And you know who else has world championship potential, and I know it because he did it. That's Buddy Bloody Murphy, your old friend, Buddy Murphy. Priest goes, Buddy, I understand, the reservations between you wanting to come and sit in our nest. But think about it. You ain't ever found the success since you left my side. Now Emerson and Ken, they're along with the ride too. And they sort of look at each other and just sort of shrug their shoulders like, yeah, sure. This isn't what we thought we were going to get into, but yeah, we'll take it. And, buddy, I know it's eating you up inside that you keep losing and losing and losing. Join us. And not only will we make you stronger, but you can make us stronger. See, I've focused all my attention on Trick Williams that I didn't realize the true follower that we should be after is my old friend. And next week, I challenge you to a duel, Buddy Murphy. And when I put you down, maybe then you'll see the light. We then cut back to the ring. Christian comes out, Dominic Mysterio, and his new son, Lexis King, by his side. He's got a big smile on his face, and he goes, I know everybody watching tuned into WWE Bash in Berlin this past weekend, and they wanted to see my disgraced former son, Dijak, rip the head off of my youngest, Dominic Mysterio, and myself. After all these months of torment we've supposedly put the big man through. In reality, he's twice my size. If he wanted to fight back, he could, but he's such a little bitch that he won't. But, unfortunately for Dijak, when you're such a great father as I am, there's an endless supply of troubled youth that are willing to stand by your side. You see, Dirty Dom, when he grew up with an absentee father, a deadbeat dad who didn't care for him, it made him the man he is now. It hardened him. It made him better. And as for my newest son, I want you all to take a good, hard look at Lexis King. Now, Lexis King, much like Dirty Dom, in his younger days, he didn't have a father to guide him, because his father was off popping pills and waving guns around on national television, like a terrible, terrible example to his children. And when Lexis's father, popped one too many old pills and he croaked, that left this man with nothing, no father to watch his back, because quite frankly, Lexis's dad, He gave his son the best out he possibly could by killing himself, because now it's going to let Lexis find a true father who can guide him. This man, Lexis King, is nobody's father, nobody's junior, and here he stands in WWE looking to make a name for himself with his own name. He's not using his disgraced father's surname, he's creating his own name under the name King, because Lexis, you have what it takes to be the biggest star in your entire family, and I, your new proud father, will take you to the very top. And Lexis King sort of does give Christian a big hug. Him and Dominic gets in there, they have a big group hug. When out comes R-Truth, and everyone sort of looks at him confused, and he goes, first of all, I told Titus and the others to be here tonight, but they ain't answering my calls. So I'll have to get back to them after the show. But Christian, he's like, can I help you, Truth? Right? Dog, I don't know how you did it. You see, I really started to think it was a myth. Christian goes, what was a myth, Truth? You being relevant in your career, yeah, that was a big myth. He goes, no. And he points to Dominic and Lexis. He goes, I don't believe it. Tom and Nick Mysterio in the very flesh before my very eyes. Christian goes, truth, you're not wanted out here. Nobody finds you funny. You're an embarrassment. You might want to hang it up before we make you hang it up. He goes, Is this not the meetup where Titus and Shanky and all of them are going to come? Oh, my bad, y'all. I made a mistake here. That's on me. But Tom and Nick, tell your father I said hi. And then as Truth goes to leave, Christian puts his arm on his shoulder. He goes, Truth, you know what I said about your career being irrelevant and you being a joke, and you need to hang it up? Why don't we skip to the ending? And then Christian, Dominic, and Lexis King beat up R-Truth, which leads to a singles match, R-Truth taking on Lexis King, which gets a 66, sure. It says R-Truth and Titus are an awkward pairing. Ignore that, Titus isn't supposed to be here. Who knows where the other members of Titus World Records are? Cough, cough. But yeah, Lexis King does pick up the win with a Tornado DDT in 8:27. 54 for Lexis King, 64 for R-Truth. And yeah, Nick Mysterio, I guess, as Truth would call him, has picked up the win in his Raw debut against R-Truth. After the match, they go to continue the attack. That's when Dijak runs back out. He saves R-Truth. He chases off Christian and Dominic. He grabs Lexis King. He hits him with a big choke slam. Christian's screaming on the ramp saying, "No, my son, my son." And Dijak, gets his little baton and he points at Christian on the ramp. This clearly isn't over between these two. We then cut to Kathy Kelly backstage. Her guests at this time, the World Tag Team Champions, and still World Tag Team Champions, Path of the Dragon. Kathy's like, Humberto, Akira, at Bash in Berlin, you faced off against one of the hardest tag teams here on Raw, Imperium, one of the biggest tag teams you've got here in WWE, and you managed to come out on top in Ludwig's home country of Germany. So, what's next for Path of the Dragon? Humberto goes, that's not really for us to say, Kathy, we can only beat whoever is crowned our next challenger. But I do look up and down this Raw roster and I see a hell of a lot of tag teams that me and Akira would love to step into the ring with. You've got teams like, the Grand Juries, Emerson Frost and King Cobain. You've got Imperium if they want to get another shot. They got other great tag teams up and down this entire card. Some who are waiting for that breakout opportunity that we got. Because we wouldn't be standing here the World Tag Team Championship if we didn't get those opportunities gifted to us. So, we just been speaking to Bobby Roode. And next week, we're going to see Tag Team Turmoil. And whoever wins Tag Team Turmoil next week will face myself and Akira for the World Tag Team Championships at the Raw Unforgiven television special the following week. Because, well, that's a huge announcement. Tag Team Turmoil back next week to determine Humberto and Tozawa's next challenger. It's kind of fitting because it was Tag Team Turmoil at WrestleMania 38, I believe, where Path of the Dragon really broke out. So it's fitting that they'd do it to try and find their next challenger. And, we've got plenty of tag teams here. We mentioned a couple of them. Imperium getting another shot, maybe. A Grand Jury. I guess Dominic Mysterio and Lexis King. Yeah. Should be fun. We then see Finn Balor. He's in his locker room. We see him walking down the hallway holding his head like he's all stressed out and pissed off. He opens the door and he slams his locker room door shut and he takes a seat in his locker room. Just in a chair. He goes, you can't keep doing this, Finn. You can't. This isn't you, Finn. This isn't you. And then we just hear a voice, like an evil voice is like, you're a loser, Finn. And he looks up and he looks confused, like where the voice is coming, and he goes, you know exactly where this is coming from. When we come together, we don't lose, Finn, but you're proving AJ Styles right. Maybe you were a loser. Maybe you were a disappointment. Give in to this temptation, and you can win again. Remember what it's like to be a winner. Then see Alexa, she's on the ramp. She's got her coffee, she's in her chair, she's got her papers ready. Does anyone please welcome the guest on A Moment of Bliss tonight? A woman who I've got a lot of history with. And, I'm going to get to the bottom of what's next for her in her career. The WWE Women's Champion, Nova Nebula. Nova takes a seat, she sits down across from Alexa. And she goes, Nova, it's been about 2 years, since we sat here eye to eye across from each other on A Moment of Bliss. And Nova's like, yeah, it's great to be back. Really, I mean it. Yeah. She goes, well, I don't appreciate the tone of voice. But, Bobby Roode was talking to me about, the WWE Women's Championship and what's next for it. And I was like, yeah, it's not you because you're not winning because you're a loser. And she goes, well, hurtful. But also, I'm always just a couple of wins away from, maybe taking that championship from you. Who knows? Maybe one day. And he goes, yeah, I doubt it. Goes, but I'm sure you've heard this big Monday Night Raw TV special is coming up. It's called Unforgiven. It's going to take place on September 30th in 2 weeks' time. And he goes, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, corporate bullshit. Cut to the chase. And I said, well, Bobby Roode spoke to me, and he has now given me the privilege to announce that you will defend your championship on that show, Nova. He goes, great. Okay, who am I beating? Is it you? I said, I could definitely beat you. He says, no, as you just made it clear, it's not me. But it will be determined next week in a fatal four-way match, when 4 of the most credible challengers, viable challengers for your championship, and I was like, so not you. I was like, not me, correct. But 4 of your viable challengers next week will face off in the main event of Raw, with the winner facing you one-on-one for the championship at Unforgiven. Never goes, another 4-way, okay. Well, I just beat 3 of the top women, and none of them have any claim to being next in line for me. Alexa goes, eh? And Never goes, what do you mean, eh? She goes, well, Bayley and Stephanie, they've got their own things going on tonight, but you didn't pin Tiffany. So, if I was Tiffany, I'd definitely make a case that I'm next in line for you. Never goes, well, you're not Tiffany, are you? You're Alexa. Just, I'm aware. Nova, thanks. And then Becky's music hits and she comes out. Goes, I'd hate to interrupt such a fine show here. But you see, usually someone of my stature, someone like me, Becky Stardust, Big Time Bex, wouldn't be called dead on a show like A Moment of Bliss. Because I've outgrown things like this. I appear on just the hit shows all across the world, Fallon, Conan, you name them. Big Time Bex will be there. But a little birdie, and I'm not talking bird girl, told me that you just said there'd be a fatal four-way next week with the winner challenging Nova Nebula for the WWE Women's Championship. And Leslie goes, good ears, Becky. She goes, well, quite frankly, I don't think there's a single woman on this roster who can hold a candle to that like I can. Okay, Nova is the only other champion on the Raw Women's Division right now. But she only has 1 belt. I have 2. Okay. Nova is the world champion. I'm the tag team champions. Being the champion where you've got to face 2 people at once and winning as one single woman, that's a hell of a lot more impressive than Nova being the world champion, if I do say so myself. So, how about you just announce next week that, Big Time Bex in the Fatal 4-Way, and I'm going to win it, and I'm going to become Becky 3 belts. And she goes, I don't have the power to do that. It's up to Bobby Roode. He goes, well, apparently I've got to wrestle this child who was lost backstage at Berlin this past weekend. So, if all of you could leave the scene, because I don't want any of you near me in my shot, because there's definitely no other woman back there who's on the level of me. Jade Cargill then just walks out. The storm hits, we get the snow, and she just walks out there and just stands there, looking like Jade Cargill. And she doesn't say anything, but he sort of just looks across at Becky, looks back across at Nova, and then walks to the back. Becky goes, not even going to say anything, what a weirdo. Okay, anyway, it's time for Big Time Bex to do her thing. And then she walks to the ring for her match against Roxy Perez, which gets a 90. They both score 87s here. And it says distraction from Kelly and Lyra. Cora Jade is also out there, of course. And they fight with Cora on the outside, which distracts Becky. And then Roxy does hit Pop Rocks on Becky Lynch. And pins her clean, 1, 2, 3. Well, I say clean, but I guess it was sort of a distraction. 8-7 for both women. Yeah, nice little match. This is funny because Becky did come to me like a month or so in game with a request. She's like, I can put Roxy Perez over. She's got a bright future. So, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Put your money where your mouth is, Becky. You know, eat this pin. But yes, you know, you have to now consider that if Becky thinks she's going to be in this Fatal 4-Way next week to be the next number one contender for Nova's belt, Roxy did just pin her. So, who knows? But yes, Becky Stardust has fallen here tonight to who she called the Lost Child backstage in Berlin. We then cut backstage. Bronson Steiner, he's swaggering around backstage. And, you know, random like background, you know, workers, you know, cowering in fear at him. He swaggers past the D'Angelo family. And you just hear, like, in the background, Adriana's like, hey, darn it, it's him. He goes, you know, that guy's not all there in the head, Riz. You know, even I wouldn't go as far as he to take care of some business, you know, capiche? And Bronson Steiner all this and looks back, glares a hole at him. The family walk away. He continues walking down. He sees Chad Gable there. He goes, oh, it's that big dumb idiot Bronson Steiner. Thank you for taking care of Cody Rhodes for me and clearing my path to the WWE Championship. Bronson Steiner glares down at Chad Gable. Go-Go so like steps in front of Gable to like shield him. He goes, you're lucky I've got a match coming up next, big man, because otherwise I'd drop you right here and right now and kill all of this hype that you've got around yourself. Then Gable and the Go-Go walk off. Bronson Steiner still smiling to himself. When Christian and the Patriarchy approach him, you know, Lexis King still holding his neck after he got chokeslammed. Christian goes, I see what you did to Cody in Berlin. I'm proud of you. You did really, really good. You know, I've wanted to do that to Cody for years, that damn idiot Cody Rhodes. But as a loving father, Bronson Steiner, I come to you with some advice because I need to help you get into the right mindset here. It's very clear to me where your anger management comes from, and that's a troubled childhood. Your father, he was never around to see you grow up either. He didn't see your football games in high school, did he? And I have a great thing for taking in troubled youths like yourself, so what do you say? He like offers a handshake out to Christian. Then Bronson's trying to grab Christian, pins him up against the wall. He goes, first of all, I'm nothing like my father. And second of all, you better get you and your two idiot friends out of my face before I put you through this damn wall and we'll never see you ever again. You got it? Christian's like, I think I got it, yes. And Bronson just sort of like throws him on the floor and storms off. Then cut backstage. Chikara and Bianca Belair are with Montez Ford. You know, Ora Mensa's not there because he did have a match earlier on tonight. Montez is like, this is it, you know. Last time I faced Gunther, I came so close. I nearly had him. I could have won that Tournament of Champions. But I came up just close, but I'm not going to mess up this time. Tonight's my night. AJ Styles and Vinci, they ain't going to know what hit them tonight. Bianca goes, you know, good luck, Tez. You know, I believe in you that you are the next WWE Champion. It'll be great to finally bring some success to this family. And Tez goes, you know, don't beat yourself up, you know. Me and Oro, we've been down, we've been up. Just like you two were down right now when Chikara lost at Berlin. But you know, you reminded yourself who you were yesterday. You called yourself the franchise when Jade Cargill dared say that she was. She ain't no franchise player, you're the franchise player. This place revolves around you. You're the pillar of this division. And sure, you know, the WWE Championship, the WWE Women's Championship may not be in your grasp next week because, you know, that Fatal 4-Way probably won't have you in it after you lost in Berlin, but who's to say that's your last opportunity? You need to remind the world who you are, just like I remind the world who I am. You're not, you know, Jakara's mother, her parental figure. You're a former Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania headliner, franchise player of this damn division. You are the EST. '94 rated match. Let's fucking go. We said Chad Gable would be in action tonight, and he is facing off with the Cruiserweight Champion Axiom, who is a Raw superstar. And I want to feature him on Raw this week because he is technically a Raw superstar, but he is sort of been confined to Velocity recently. And I knew this would be a banger, and it fucking was. Chad Gable pins him with a Chaos Theory in 15:43, 95 for Chad Gable, 86 for Axiom. And yeah, that's a random little banger you throw on your shows to make them, bang. How many times can I say bang? But that's what this was, a banger. What can I say? But yes, Chad Gable, Mr. Money in the Bank, with a victory here tonight. Then see Kathy Kelly. Catches up with Dijak backstage. She goes, Dijak, I understand you've got some words for Christian after what we saw earlier on time. He goes, you're damn right I do. You see, at Berlin, you and your little children, as you call them, got the upper hand on me. Okay, congratulations, it ain't gonna happen again. Because here's what I've got to say, Christian. I have won. You have won. This has to end eventually. And I say we end this in 2 weeks' time at Unforgiven Raw. Me and you. Jailhouse street fight. And then Kevin like, well, I don't know what that means. I guess we'll have to learn more next week. But Dijak has challenged Christian to a jailhouse street fight at Raw Unforgiven. We then cut backstage. Anne-Marie and Mariah approach Tiffany in their locker room. They're all giddy. They have a little three-way celebration about Mariah and Anne-Marie's big win. She goes, oh my god, girls, I've never been so proud to have you two in my corner. It was a rough start when you two started being a team. You were losing a lot, and I was blaming Anne-Marie. I didn't really know if Anne-Marie gelled with us, but what I saw tonight was huge, okay? Those women's tag team championships, they've never looked closer, and my god would they look pretty on YouTube. Not as pretty as the WWE Women's Championship would look on me, because obviously at Bash in Berlin, Stephanie, Vaquer, and Bailey had their own little things going on, but I didn't get pinned in that match. I didn't lose. Okay, TV doesn't lose championship opportunities. So next week, in next week's Fatal 4-Way, I'm going to make it right, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to defeat Nova Nebula, I'm going to become the WWE Women's Champion one-on-one, and then we'll all hold gold. $68, nice, sure. I think that's the same rating that her and Jade got, actually. But yeah, just give Tatum Paxi a nice rebound win. She beat Sol Ruca in 7:37 with the Pax Plex. 70 for Tatum, 59 for Sol. Yeah, sure. I will just make sure she stays on the show, because I do have things for her in the future. So, just keep her around, keep her relevant. She picks up a win over Sol Ruca. She has sort of somewhat feuded with her and Zoe Stark recently, so yeah, nice. We then see Trick Williams approach Buddy Murphy. He goes, hey buddy, I heard what, the Flock, or whatever they want to call themselves, the Grand Jury, the Flock, whichever one it is, the group of many names, okay, I call them the bum-ass group. But I heard what they said about you earlier on tonight, they want you to join their group, and I know, I've been there, they were doing this to me just a month ago, and I ended up kicking Damian Priest's head in, and here I stand, I'm proud of myself for not joining that trash-ass group. But he goes, I get it, Trick, thanks, but you're finished with this group, Go and be a successful single star in your career like you should be. As for me, this is my battle with Damian Priest, an old friend of mine. I need to go it. I need to find out what's best for me. And when I defeat Damian Priest next week, I know what's best for me is to be Buddy Bloody Murphy. And next week, we do have a couple of big matches set for the show, and here it is, the official lineup. Breaking news, the official lineup has now been confirmed in that Fatal 4-Way that we learned about, with the winner will face Nova Nebula at Raw Unforgiven the following week. It will be Becky Lynch, the Women's Tag Team Champions. Roxy Perez, she pinned Becky tonight, so she's earned her spot in this match. Jade Cargill, victorious over Tatum Paxley, so big opportunity for her to get her first World Championship opportunity since coming to the main roster. And Tiffany Stratton, who, of course, didn't get pinned in that 4-Way at Berlin. So that is the lineup. It's Becky, Tiffany, Jade, and Roxy next week, with the winner facing Nova for the belt at Raw Unforgiven. Plus, a singles match, former tag team championship partners, former Church of Rollins allies, former, you name it, they've done it. Buddy Bloody Murphy, Damian Priest one-on-one. Will Buddy Murphy be the next to rebel against the flock? Or will, he reluctantly or maybe happily join his old ally, Damian Priest? Plus, Tag Team Turmoil is back. Path of the Dragon made the announcement earlier on tonight that next week we will see Tag Team Turmoil. All the tag teams, well not all, probably like 5 or 6 tag teams on Raw, duking it out with the winners facing Path of the Dragon for the championships at Raw Unforgiven. We then see Bronson Steiner, he's got his jacket on, he's got his suitcase, he's leaving the arena. When Bobby Roode approaches him, he goes, Bronson, I was really worried about you being here tonight. He goes, Bobby, don't be worried. I'm a good employee. I wouldn't dare do anything you told me not to do. Bobby goes, it's just what I saw at Bash in Berlin was very, unsettling. And, I've seen what you did to Batista before, and, you can't really be controlled, can you, Bronson? He goes, you're damn right I can't, Bobby. But I did a good job tonight, right? I was a good little employee. Bobby Roode goes, I guess in a roundabout way you were, yeah. He goes, so, when's my WWE Championship opportunity? Bobby Roode goes, well, goes, what? He sort of backs up against the wall. He goes, there's a triple threat tonight, and you're not in it. But can you please leave, Bronson? Bronson sort of just gets in his face. And then he leaves the building, but as soon as he leaves the building, you see him just start, killing people outside. He's left work, he's clocked off, he's left the arena, but he's just started killing random civilians in the parking lot. And you just see in the background of the segment as Bobby Roode watches on in horror, and then he rushes away to go and obviously get security or something. 83. Meh. Sure. Could have been better, but whatever. And, I was going to say, it's got Vinci in it, but Vinci actually scored the highest rating in this match. He got an 89, Tez got an 88, and AJ Styles got an 82. But, AJ Styles does pin Giovanni Vinci with a phenomenal forearm in 17:51. Which means that at Raw's Unforgiven event, it will be Styles Gunther 2 for the WWE Championship. Gunther got the win in Berlin. AJ Styles gets another opportunity to take the championship. This time he's got to do it from the champion, who is Gunther, at Raw's Unforgiven TV special in 2 weeks' time. And of course, after the match, Gunther gets into the ring. He starts scolding Vinci. AJ's crawled up the ramp at this point. He's watching on. He's just smiling as he watches on. Vinci's getting scolded. He's getting chopped. I imagine the chop marks from Berlin are still on Vinci's chest. And Gunther's going to deliver a couple more. Because, hey, you were supposed to get this opportunity. I gave you the opportunity. I gave you the biggest opportunity of your career and you blew it. You're making the rest of Imperium look like jokes. We should all be champions, but we're not because of you. Go and think about yourself, Vinci. Slaps him on the back of the head. Vinci falls down. He's gonna drags him to his feet. Drags him outside the ring. And orders him, goes, go to the back, to the back. Gunnar grabs his belt, puts it over his shoulder. Ludwig, sort of watches on in a little bit of horror, but also, he loves Gunther, so he's yeah, fuck him up, Gunny. But yeah, that's how the show goes off the air, with more abuse of poor Giovanni Vinci. 82 rated show, sure, we'll take that. What matters more is what you thought of the show, so do let me know in the comments below. I'll see you across now for Heat, which will see the finals of the Liberty Championship number 1 contenders tournament. Will it be the Mega Sis, or will it be Kalani Jordan, who earns that shot at Candice LeRae at Bad Blood? I'll have to find out soon. Heat kicks off with an 80-9 rated opening match. This is going to be so much better than the main event, because the main event is the breakout tournament finals. But, oh well. Yeah. It's the Liberators, because we didn't have a chance for them to shine on Raw this week, so they're going to get a big win. A huge win, apparently, based on the ratings. against Sonya Deville and Liv Morgan here on the opening match of Heat. 84 for Piper, 83 for Tegan, 76 for Liv, 72 for Sonya Deville. And yeah, this is a nice little opening match, Liberators the stars here, Sonya and Liv opening up a C show, probably where they belong. And yeah, nice win for Tegan and Piper. And then come backstage. We see Kiana James, he's on the phone, she goes, "What do you mean you're not here tonight?" He goes, "No, I know you've got that big match tomorrow night, but, we could have really used you around here." Whatever, fine. She puts the phone down. She goes, "Girls, there's been a bit of a problem." Okay. This Katana Chance girl, who's been all up in my grill recently, begging for an opportunity because, she said that people thought that she was finished once she became a solo star, but she's been begging for an opportunity to prove what she's got, and apparently we've got to deliver it. But Sasha's not here tonight, so Kelsey Cook goes, "Let me guess. Sasha's not here, so can you girls go do our dirty work instead?" Kiana goes, "Please?" She goes, "Whatever, sure." And then they leave. And Next Gen are at ringside for the next match, which is Katana Chance against BFAB. And Katana Chance does pick up a win. She beats BFAB in 7:34 with a roll-up, 60 for Katana, 58 for BFAB. After the match, when she's celebrating, she still has her party smoke blower thing. And Next Gen do get in the ring. And they sort of corner Katana Chance. And they do just let her leave, though. Yeah, well, fuck it. There's no point. Just let her go. And Katana Chance does, scurry out of the ring. Swiftly walking to the back. Happy that she's got a win, but also happy she avoided a 5-on-1 beatdown at the hands of Next Gen here tonight. We then get an earlier today segment. Chelsea Green, she knocks on the J-Flow door. She goes, "Hey, I'm here to apologise about Saturday night, It was a big opportunity you had in the works there, and I sort of blew it." And he goes, "Yeah, you did." She goes, I know I did. That's why I said I did. Okay, so can you just forgive my apology and we can move on? And he goes, "No." She goes, "What do you mean, no?" "Okay, it's not my fault that I tell the truth about you and this music and all this crap, and people can't seem to handle it. Okay, it's not my fault that I am the Messiah. Whatever I say, people believe. I can make you all believe whatever I want you to believe because, my word is gospel because I'm Chelsea motherfucking Green. And you're just a bunch of happy-go-lucky J-Flow singing girls, okay? You know what? I don't want to be here, Please, I'm begging you, Mackie. Wrestle me tonight on Heat, and when I beat you, let me be free of this nonsense." Mackie goes, "Sure. But if I win, you know what happens." Jesse goes, "Yes, I know. I stay your pathetic little roadie, cleaning your toilets, and your dirty little trailer, and ick." Mackie goes, "No. We win. You join the group. Full time." He goes, "I don't want that." He goes, "Yeah, that's why it's a punishment, yeah." And then we then get the match. Chelsea versus Mackie. Gets a 75. And of course, it is Mackie who picks up the win of a diving headbutt in 10:24. So poor Chelsea. She thought she had an escape. She thought she could finally get out of, roadie Judy for J-Flow after she fucked up the encounter with Baby Metal at Bash in Berlin. Not to be. And now, it appears Chelsea's in the group. We found our replacement for Mina. It's Chelsea Green. 85 for Mackie, 64 for Chelsea. After the match, well, not after the match, but we then cut backstage even, and we've got Alicia Sanford backstage with Tegan and Piper. Just Tegan Piper, we've moved over to Monday Night Raw recently, and you have had your chance to wrestle Becky Lynch and I guess Killer Kelly for the tag team championship in your rematch, but you came up short at Bash in Berlin. Just want to know, with you two by yourself over here on Monday Night Raw, what's next for Tegan and Piper? I'm not gonna lie, Alicia. When we got moved over to Raw, it was a little bit of a gut punch because we had a nice little thing going on SmackDown. But one thing about your time in WWE is you never know. It can end at the drop of a hat. One day you've got all the momentum in the world, the next you're barely fighting to survive on this show, and me and Piper could sit back and complain about what happened and the fact that we got moved away from, where we felt comfortable. Or we could use that as motivation because it's a new opportunity and a new land for us to do what we want to do and grow as a tag team and stay together and prove that we're more than just the sum of our parts. So we may have come up short at Bash in Berlin, but we're in there against Becky Lynch, who's a world-class professional wrestler and one of the greatest women's WWE stars of all time. But we're still friends with Dakota and Candice, but we haven't got to be joined at the hip with them every single thing we do. There's no reason we can't still be the Liberators over here while they're still the Liberators over there. Okay, so that's what's next for us. Wait and see, I guess. That's right off screen. They sort of spot somebody, and Cammy and the Megasis just walk past. They sort of stop, as they cross past with Tegan and Piper. Sort of just glare across at them, side-eye Tegan and Piper. Cammy just gives a little chuckle, and then they walk off as they head to the ring for the main event. Gets a 49. That's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. But sure. It's because, again, I spammed creative ideas into the Megasis. Her momentum was quite hot. So she counts as being recognisable, even though she's technically still unimportant. But, yes, in a result I'm sure shocks nobody, the Megasis does win the entire tournament. 11-29 over Kalani Jordan. I made sure to do this match because, it's a powerhouse against a high flyer. That's always a fun dynamic. And in the end, Kalani, we've got our own Sammy and Gunther, basically. And in the end, it is the Megasis who picks up the win. And she becomes the Women's Breakout Tournament champion. Which means, at Bad Blood in Paris, it will be the Megasis, the monster of Queendom Omega, challenging the Liberty champion Candice LeRae in just under 2 weeks. Yeah, at Bad Blood. That's a pretty fun episode of Heat. 7 minutes and 30 seconds recording says that's quite a long episode of Heat, but we had a lot of funny segments tonight. We're advancing stories on Heat now, which, is always a good thing. But yeah, so I might as well tell you for the show, mainly of Raw, and the fallout from Bash in Berlin, and I'll see you next time for ECW as their continued roll towards high voltage continues. See you then.